So we are continuing with our second part, or actually it's the fourth part of our course on success secrets from the Bhagavad Gita. And we are in the middle of a Become a Trusted Guide secret. And it's based on the Bhagavad Gita's verse 321, Yadyada Charati Shreshtas, Tata Devetaro Janas Ayat Pramanam Kurute Lokastadam Vartate. It speaks about the leadership and exemplary leader. We have heard that also Lord Chaitanya has preached that first behave nicely, then teach, achar and prachar. So example is so important in Krishna consciousness. It's essential. Acharya means a teacher who teaches by example. And in this verse we find the word acharati, which is the same meaning. And we have been discussing the four roles of a trusted guide. And now we will speak about four mindsets and four skills. Now, to be a trusted guide, it's good to have to know some couple of tricks in life that make life easier. So now I want to teach you one trick. When you feel bad, when you tend to feel depressed, or you're confused, or maybe even angry, what you can do is you can get up. So please get up. We did this last time. Last time we called it depression yoga, but now we call it antidepressant. Antidepressant. So please raise your hands and try to feel bad. This position. Try to be depressed, negative, very, very dejected. Okay, now do this Swami step and double your depression. Try to feel double bad if you can. Angry, disappointed. That's a great word, disappointed. I'm so disappointed with others. Okay? And now, continue doing these two things. Chant Hare Krishna and triple your depression. Hare Krishna. I will show you.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So you can sit down. Imagine your husband or wife makes you angry or upset, and you raise your arms, and it will be very difficult for you to develop that anger and that bad feeling, because something mystical or magical happens when you raise your arms. And now you may ask, where did I get from this idea? This is maybe from some New Age book or from Waterstones. I got it directly from the altar. From downstairs, there's Gaur Nitai, they always have their hands up. So, if God is doing it, and He's the supreme enjoyer, supreme controller, He knows everything, there must be something in it. So I tried it. And when I was in Copenhagen, I had a course, also Gita coaching and success course, and I was teaching devotees this, and in that very moment, by accident, Pujari, with his arm, he caught the curtain, and the curtain opened like this, and everybody could see Gaur Nitai like this. And I thought, okay, it's an accident. The next day, I had no idea when is the offering, when the altar opens, and at one point in the course was in the temple room, and there was a curtain there in front of the altar. And at one point, the curtain opened. Actually, at the point when I was reminding them of this exercise, the curtain opened again. Then I was sure it was an accident anymore. And they told me that actually they opened it in the time that they don't usually open it. It was some exception, it was there. So I believe that Gornitai has confirmed that this is a bona fide exercise for devotees and for people to feel better. So you can always, it's so simple, but the mind is so heavy that you cannot do this when you're upset. It's too heavy. I mean, it's like 2 tons. You have to lift 2 tons of hands, and it's so difficult. And motivational speaker Tony Robbins says, motion brings emotion. So I wrote him that, did you know that Hare Krishnas, every day, the first thing they do when they get up, they dance? And he wrote back, he said, no, I didn't know, that's great. The first thing in the morning is dancing. And unfortunately, we were supposed to be devotees, we don't use it enough. We know that in the spiritual world, every move, every walk is a dance. We know that, but we don't dance. We don't go on Harinam enough. Maybe our boss will see us, or I don't know why we don't go. Maybe we are too shy. But try to be depressed or feel bad if you walk like this. It's impossible. So God has given us so many amazing things to make our life better, and we are experts in making our life miserable. And this is why when we have a trusted guide, this person is supposed to be happy and to know a lot of tricks how to make life better and easier, so that we can continue with our self-realization, God-realization, service in a happy mood. So let's look at the 4 mindsets of a trusted guide. He has faith in the scriptures, in God's word. The source of wisdom of a trusted guide is spiritual literature, or wisdom literature. How does, first of all, what he reads in the scriptures makes sense to him, and he knows how to explain it, or she. Then, has people's or devotees' best interest at heart. We go back to somebody who is caring, who is supportive. But not only he has interest at heart, but he shows it also in many ways. He's ready to support, he's ready to serve, he's ready to listen. He's ready to give something. He's ready to sacrifice, his time, his energy, sometimes his money or her money, to help others and to support. So has people's or devotees' best interest at heart. Now, the third one, believes in people, believes in their potential, believes in their innate goodness. When you say, I believe in you, you actually, at least it's my approach, that I believe in 2 things. One, I believe in their sincerity or innate goodness, and I believe in their ability. We again go back to the same 2 points, character and competence. I believe in their character, I believe in their competence. These 4 words are so simple, but if we repeat them, it can make a huge difference in the people's lives. If we say, I believe in you. Recently, one friend told me, no one believes in me except you. Then I said, is that enough? Then she said, I even don't believe in myself. You don't have to believe in yourself. Just believe in God. Because God is everything, you are part of Him. So if you believe in God, you are included. So this morning we spoke in the class about self-confidence, self-esteem. These are buzzwords in the success world or in the world in general. And we say that we don't need self-confidence. You just need, you believe in God and you do your best and He will help you and you'll be His instrument. Why do you need self-confidence? Just to become puffed up? Become proud. So there is many good things you can learn from the books in Waterstones, but there is also many misconceptions and things that don't make sense. They teach us that we are the main doer. And we know we are not the only doer. We are not the only doer. There is so many factors there. And we cannot control everything. They say, if you can conceive it and believe it, you can achieve it. It's not true. I can conceive it, I can believe it, and I will not achieve it if someone or something doesn't say yes. Some external force or external person. That's the reality. The trusted guide is aware that there is higher forces, that there is higher authorities or higher personalities or higher beings, and he wants to learn from them and get their guidance. But he knows how can a spiritual person believe in people? Because he sees them as spiritual beings. He sees them that they're eternal, full of knowledge, full of bliss. It's easy to believe in someone who is an eternal soul. Or you see them as an eternal soul. And you tell them this. People sometimes come to me with so many problems. And I say, but do you know that you are eternal? Oh no, I don't think like this. I just think of the next problem. I meditate on my next problem, or my next anxiety, or next stress. Regarding stress, I want to give you another small trick or tip. It comes from a man who is a mind deactivator. Mind's deactivator. You know what is that? Mind. Bomb. Yeah, bomb deactivator. This is his job. This guy knows how to be calm. He has written a book called Be Calm. Be calm. Calm. Peaceful. Be peaceful. So he says that if you want less stress in your life, then you need to, if you have too much to do one day, just focus on the next task. Just focus on the next task. Don't think of everything at once. Just, okay, what is the next thing I have to do? Focus on that, you will be more peaceful. So believes in people and is curious. What is a trusted guide curious about? He is curious about two things. One is how is God helping this person, and how is God testing this person. So he is never bored to work with people. He likes people because also people are interesting for him or her. Curious. He has this curious mindset. Also, he's like to explore. He's creative, explore options and things like that. So we spoke about expanding our intelligence. We spoke about creativity there. So trusted guide asks excellent questions. This was our part 1. Uses positive language, expands his intelligence, and grows giver's heart. So these 4 qualities the trusted guide has. So this is a brief overview of these 4 mindsets that a trusted guide has. And do you have any questions about this? So far, we have gone through 2 lists of 4, and we have another one. So, any questions about this?
So can you repeat the 4 again? I think on this one.
What?
Can you repeat the 4 again? The 4 mindsets.
Okay. It has faith in the scriptures or in the Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
Then he believes in the people, believes in people or believes in devotees.
Yes.
Then he's curious.
Yes.
You have all 4 now?
That's 3, isn't it?
That's 3, but you haven't written all of them. There is one more.
Oh, right.
It's he has devotees' best interest at heart. Best interest at heart. For people's best interest at heart. And he shows it. He shows he's ready. I have water. I still have water here. Thank you. So how do you show that you care for people? What do you think? I mean, how do you already do it? You sometimes show that you care for your friends, your colleagues, your neighbors, your relatives. So how do you do it? What is your style? How do you show people that you care for them?
Or give them some of your time.
Give them some of your time, okay? Something else?
If somebody's crying or sad, I put my arms around them. I mean, it depends on what.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
6 loving exchanges,
6 loving exchanges.
whatever you express.
You bring them to Govindas. Or to healthy, wealthy. And also wise. It's free marketing.
And also make myself available. I guess it's to do with time. Like if you want to call me tonight, or if you're feeling upset, don't be afraid to pick up the phone. I mean, that sort of thing. Make myself available, I guess.
To listen.
To be there if they're feeling upset. You know you've got my number. I mean, yeah, you know you've got my. Just confirm that they can contact me. They don't have to be alone with
Okay.
and sitting with whatever the pain is that they're.
Yeah. How else? Care?
Love.
Huh?
Love them.
How? How do you show love?
Kind word.
Kind words. That's using positive language. That's number 2.
Listening.
Listening. Oh, that's a tough one.
Attentive listening.
Attentive listening. That's hard. That's so hard. For impatient people, that's very hard. Even they like to be caring, but it's hard to listen. They jump in and they talk. Yeah. Okay, listening, yeah?
Give them your time and attention.
Time and attention. Mm-hmm.
Sharing something I might have had similar with them, like sort of giving them, you know, I've needed care on this subject, you know, like, so I've been creating some sort of parity, if you like. I know what that's like, and just share something with them.
Understand.
Yeah.
Understand where they're at.
Yes, and understand the empathy. That the care doesn't come from not having been there, if you like, in some degree.
You are not the only one who is going through this.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
Well, I mean, check up on them, ask them how they are. With the, you know, every now and again you sort of maybe phone them and say, well, how are you?
That's a great point. I wanted to mention it and I forgot it.
Be more open.
Yeah.
Trusted guy doesn't wait for people to call him.
Right.
He reaches out. That's leadership. He reaches out. Because he wants to create service opportunities for himself, to serve people. I say that every problem is an opportunity. So what the problem is an opportunity for you, tell me.
For love.
What is the obvious opportunity in every problem?
To solve it.
Yes, to work on solving it. It's a challenge for your intelligence. Okay, there is a problem, but I'm not, I'm a cat. We say in Serbia, cats cough. I don't know, I'm not a peanut or I'm not something insignificant. I want to...
Get your hands dirty and get on with it. Get your hands dirty and get on with it.
Ready to get your hands dirty to help someone. That's very nice. That's what trusted guys do. But he also wants to have clean hands. A clean, trusted guide. But he's not afraid to clean. Our Janitaya Prabhu, Temple President, you have been witness. Just a couple of hours ago, there was 2 boys cleaning the temple room. And I see something from the back, somebody familiar, and his jacket, a red jacket, and is this Janitaya Prabhu? Then Mataji came, our president was wiping the floor. It was beautiful to see. And he's so busy, so many meetings, so much managerial burden. I also spoke to him about his service, and he told me what he has to do, and to find time to clean the floor, that's amazing, really, wonderful. And this builds trust also. Okay. You can think about how you provide care, how you like to show that you have other person's best interest at heart. But this is a strong foundation for trust. If people are convinced, but you can sometimes ask people, "Are you convinced that I have your best interest at heart?" And they say, "I'm not just 100% sure." So how can I change that? I want to show you that I have your best interest at heart. Okay, so you can do something to do this. All these things that you mentioned and more, what we can do to show people we have their best interest at heart. And curiosity. Yeah, so you have all four. And 4 skills. Again, these things are kind of intertwined. Listening, inquiry, expanding options, and promoting action. Of course, you can add more to this list, I don't mind. But these are very basic. Listening, you have already mentioned. But how to listen? There is courses about listening, and you nod with your head, with your body language you show you are involved. But actually, some people say, listen with your heart. Be genuinely interested in that person and open up your heart. In one sense, yes.
One of the things that I find about listening is that so much of the time we listen to reply rather than respond to what they're saying. So you're already thinking, like my mother and I, we do something at home, we have a talking stick, and even if the other person wants to interrupt with something they want to say at the time, you cannot until the other person has comfortably decided it's time to pass on the talking stick. Because then you're actually listening to each other rather than listening to what the person is saying, and you're already thinking of what you're going to say, so you're not actually listening to them at all.
When are you giving your next seminar? Talking stick is a big thing. It's called Indian talking stick. It's from American Indians. And one of the very famous success teachers always speaks about this. And so you're doing it this way. I will just explain a little bit how they do it. A little bit more complex. This is a great tool to make sure people listen to each other and understand each other and respect each other. It's a great tool. It's a simple tool, but a great tool. So you will not get a stick until you repeat to my satisfaction what I have told you. That I'm sure you have listened and I'm sure you understand. You don't have to agree always. It's okay. But just that you have listened and you respect my time, you respect my personality or whatever, my opinion, and you repeat. And when I say, okay, if there's a mediator, he can ask you, are you satisfied that they have repeated like this? You say yes, then you get a stick. And for them, it's two-way. It's two-way.
We do that. I say to my mum, can I explain what I've understood from what you've said?
Oh, you do
so
this.
I can be sure that I've understood you correctly.
You do this.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay. I mean, another course I wanted to give was for mentors here, but it can be for anyone. I was giving this course for anyone who is interested. It's called Time to Think, and it's about attentive listening. Actually, I can summarize this course in one sentence. Don't listen to respond, listen to ignite. You understand? Listen to stimulate thinking. So this is another type of service. It's not the service where I share my knowledge or whatever, experience, but I facilitate your thinking. And for this, you need curiosity. You need some curiosity. So thank you so much for mentioning this. It's great, fantastic. This Indian talking stick for empathy. Basically, and now what's happening when you do this? You are practically forcing each other to respect each other, to understand each other, and then you can come to amazing solutions, creative solutions. You create conditions for synergy. Synergy means creative cooperation, third alternative, better than I have proposed, solution better than I have proposed than you have proposed. So this is the rewards of this approach. So listening, I have made a podcast on successfulvaishnavas.com about 10 components of the thinking environment. That means you're listening and creating conditions for people to think clearly and have a better quality thinking. And 40 habits of a thinking coach. So if you like, these are 1 hour each. There is 2 podcasts. And successfulvaishnavas.com, you click on the podcast and you will see episode 22 and 23, 24, something like that. We will see.
Sorry, what's the website?
Successfulvaishnavas.com.
Oh, thank you.
Episode 20 and 22.
22 and 23, 24, something like that. 2. One is has a double number. So you can learn how to facilitate people's better thinking, and that's really like high class listening. So trusted guide is a thinking partner. Also, he can play a role of a thinking partner.
So just anyone who's already signed up for the newsletter or given feedback form, I can send any of Prabhu's material that he wants to send out to you by email. So you don't need to make notes and things.
If you have their emails,
Thank you very much.
if you have their emails, you can, send them everything. I have a lot of resources. I share them for free. So one of them is this. I have also books by this lady which explain a lot about how to do this. So this is about listening. So the trusted guide is also a thinking partner, and the person is a thinker. They think for themselves. Prabhupada speaks about independently thoughtful devotees. So think independently. Think for yourself. Don't be a blind follower. Don't be too dependent. Then inquiry. We already spoke about asking excellent questions. This is from our number 1 principle or secret. One of the top management gurus in the world, he is actually guru of gurus, teacher of teachers, Peter Drucker, he said, my main job as a consultant is to be ignorant and ask a couple of questions. Einstein said, if I would have a problem that my life would depend on, and I have 1 hour to solve it, I would spend 55 minutes looking for the right questions, and in 5 minutes I would solve it. This is how much inquiry is important. So, trusted guide asks himself better questions, he asks others better questions, he stimulates better thinking, he stimulates people's intelligence, and inquiry is also in our tradition, Adhata Brahma Jigyasa, inquiry from spiritual master. It's essential in life. To have better thinking, we have to have better questions. Then, expanding options. It also has to do with questions. We use the word else to expand options and combine it with different other words. What else, who else, how else, where else? If you use this word, how else can I do this? Who else can help me? You ask yourself or other people these questions, and you can expand options. There is always many more options than we see at any given moment in life, any given project. There is always many more options. But we have to have ways like brainstorming, mindstorming, asking these questions, find ways to expand our intelligence, and in this way we will expand our possibilities. So, Trusted Guide helps people with all these principles that we mentioned. He is helping them to ask better questions, to use positive language, to grow giver's heart, to expand their intelligence, and whatever tools he's using, he's always inspiring people and helping them to use these tools to improve their lives. And the last one is promoting action. So, without action there is no results. You can dream. They say, dream big dreams. So, dreaming without action will not bring results. Trusted Guide always promotes action. Therefore, when Trusted Guide meets you or a group, he always asks for action, for some action. And we are coming to slowly to our sixth secret, which has to do with action. And I will give you some practical ideas. Now, one quality of a Trusted Guide, before I give an opportunity for questions and before I give you a little exercise, is that he is proactive. I have shown you this choice map. It helps you to choose how you react in any life situation intelligently. You can react in the mode of goodness, you can react in the mode of ignorance and passion. And if you type choice map PDF on Google, you will get the link to download these 2 pages. It's color, it's beautiful. And if you don't find this version, because I think she changed something, made it uglier, I have this. I will send you this one. This one is more beautiful. What is this person using to choose is using better questions. It's called learner questions, so I call them excellent questions. Using better questions. And what is the key to choosing the right path? It's not always choosing the right path, but when you choose the wrong path, is making a switch. So we have a switching lane here, which is actually key. We all have a tendency to fall into this judger mindset, negative mindset, lower modes of nature, but we always have to switch. We always have to switch. Some learner questions here. What do I want? What works? What are the facts and what can I learn? What are my choices? What action steps make sense? What's possible? A mood of optimism, hope and possibilities, a mindset that thoughtful, understanding, flexible, relating, that is connected and collaborative. There is a book called Change Your Questions, Change Your Life by Mary Lee Adams, and this choice map is from that book. So he has written a story that describes a man in trouble who was saved by this approach, by better questions, learning questions. So now our thinking is very much influenced by the questions we ask. So instead of asking why they are imperfect, we can ask what? Instead of asking why they are imperfect, what we can ask?
What can I do?
What can I do?
Learn?
Yes. Sometimes the devotees say, we can ask why I'm imperfect. This is not the question I want. The question is, what can I do to improve the situation? For example, here in London you can see a piece of junk on the street. So what is the question you ask yourself? Like what is the judge or critical person will ask when you see a piece of junk?
How did this get here?
Huh?
They want to find a blame. Who put this here? How did it get here?
Yes, that's right.
What are the politicians doing? They are supposed to keep London clean.
Yes, yes.
You know, the mayor, and they're just enjoying their salary. Or the services that are in charge, what are they doing? They're also smoking, drinking, you know, not doing their job. And Ragaleka, Mataji, you know Ragaleka? Ragaleka, you don't know? Abhike, no? Yeah. Ragaleka, I asked her this question, and she said, I will pick it up and throw it in the garbage. So, what is the obstacle to doing this? Oh, my hands will get dirty. So therefore, if you want to keep London clean, bring these wet tissues with you or a little water in the bottle. So you don't have an excuse not to pick up the rubbish and put it in the bin. But you want to show God that you respect His creation, which is also London, and you want to keep it clean, not only the temple. Also in the temple you may pass something on the floor and think, oh, nobody's cleaning this, the others are lazy, they're sleeping, eating, with Govindas. But you will please God more if you this. More, you will please Him more. If somebody sees you, they say, oh, that's so nice, I will do it myself also. You know, I want to do this. Next time when I see a piece of paper, I will pick it up. So what is one of the important qualities of a trusted guide? Between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space lies our freedom to choose our response. Anything that happens, you can react intelligently or you can react less intelligently. You can choose how you react. As a human being, you have a power to choose. Do you believe that? Or you just like, or you have a habit of just reacting to whatever happens? I give you an example of two kinds of reactions. If somebody tells you, you're ugly, if somebody tells someone that he's ugly, so if he's a materialistic person, what he would do?
Demotivated, demoralized, believe it, and then lose confidence.
Yes? What do you
Become
say?
depressed.
Cry? Okay.
Depressed.
What else?
Get angry, won't you?
Angry.
Get angry. I mean, he makes sure.
Defend.
He can make sure you are also ugly. You know, you're blue. You become blue. With angry, beat you up. If you tell a devotee who is Krishna conscious, I mean, you have devotees who are not so Krishna conscious, but he said, you're so ugly. He said, oh, thank God I'm not this body. You know, you don't see real me. So the same stimulus and two responses. So this is what the trusted guide is expert in. He can choose his reaction. And for this, you need to do what I taught you, the greatest success secret of all time. You need to do daily practice. So I used to, in London, in this very city, and a little bit Radlett and Bushy, I used to get so upset with myself when I forget my glasses. Because without my glasses, how can I do service in the office here? And I started practicing this stimulus response, choosing your reaction, and I was able to reduce my disturbance time from a couple of hours to a couple of minutes. Now it's a couple of seconds. I catch myself, but I'm practicing for 20 years. Practicing for 20 years, this stop and say, okay, what's happened now? You forgot your glasses. Well, you can either go back or borrow glasses, but don't beat yourself up for 3 hours. Beat yourself up for 3 hours.
Yes.
And if other people, if other people upset you, you can also, choose your reaction. You can take a deep breath. And when you take a deep breath, you have a couple of options. Some people say count to 10, but I say do this. Hare Krishna. Because when you connect with God, He's most peaceful. He's also most restless. But He will give you peace. If you say Hare Krishna, you say His name. If you say it 3 times, half of the anger is gone. And if you say it 10 times, then,
With your
you
arms up.
become unstoppable. So this is something you can practice, and I can help you with that. Now, I would like to work in pairs. We didn't do any exercise today in pairs. Choose someone you want to work with, and to talk about what is the area of life where you would like to become a trusted guide.
For somebody else or for how? Sorry, I don't understand.
Huh?
For somebody else, a trusted guide?
Or what sort of trusted guide?
Yeah.
What area of life you would like to become a trusted guide
okay.
in? It can be sales, it can be leadership, management, parenthood, or all of that.
Okay.
So choose one area where you would like to take responsibility, become a trusted guide, and use all of these qualities and skills to do wonderful service. And please try to maybe turn to each other a little bit and speak.
This is.
So
What if
both of you will have a shift to speak. One is listening, one is speaking. When you are listening, please don't interrupt. Just listen for a couple of minutes. If someone speaks.
What if you already are a trusted guide?
Excuse me?
What if you already is working as a trusted guide?
Just share this.
I just shared.
Yeah,
it.
just share.
Oh, you share. So it's an organisation.
Do you want to join us? Yeah. It's okay. Come on.
Yeah.
I volunteer and
Hare Krishna, let us continue and let us unpack the exercise. I see that you had quite a nice time discussing. And of course we would like to hear some of your insights from this exercise. So the exercise was to share which area you would like to be trusted guide in. And anybody would like to share? If anything exciting happened in this conversation, yes?
Helenka.
Helenka.
Yeah, it's okay.
Me and Helenka, we had a discussion, and she was very helpful, very insightful, breaking up. So the area that I would like to be a trusted guide is to preach Krishna consciousness. And we started discovering all my fears, inhibitions, all the blockages that I had. And one of them was that me not being good enough.
Thinking,
am I a good devotee to even preach? I'm still in the ABC, struggling with my basics. So she said, I'll always be struggling. And that's the journey all about. And to be honest about where you are. And not necessarily you have to know the answers for all the questions. Not necessarily you have to be able to satisfy everybody. So that's okay.
Yep.
That's okay. So, yes, thank you. And that I'm not perfect. That's fine. So, that's fine. And these are all, as she said, Maya. They're all illusions that you would like to have for yourself. The fears.
This is very valuable.
I think she was
Just
very
like
valuable.
at the right time, you got the right coaching. Wonderful. Thank you. And thank
And
you.
thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for the class.
Okay, so anybody else? I think the best is that all of you share, but you just have to choose the order. Yeah.
So,
No, it's not. All right, I was speaking to Harry. Harry put up some really really good points. One was, as a trusted guide, you can't tell somebody to do something.
Uh-huh.
You have to somehow enable them to learn
Uh-huh.
how to do something.
Uh-huh.
And the other point, which I thought was really amazing, was he said that to try to make it easy for them to learn.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Because many times people give us things, advice, but then it's too hard. You can't do it. And so I thought that was really an excellent point over there.
So, what is your occupation? What are you expert in? What are you expert in?
A lot of things.
Tell us one. Top.
I'm good at carpentry.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was confused about like more like, to become a trusted guide, like how to become a trusted guide.
In carpentry, how would you become a trusted guide in carpentry? It's a good example. It's a little bit like maybe not so easy to define, but can you give it a try? How will you become a trusted guide in carpentry?
So this is where I have to work with someone else, is it, or is it work by?
Yes. Yeah, if you're a guide, you guide someone.
Yeah, so I do all the light work and they can do all the heavy work.
What did you say? What did you say? You said
The hard work, isn't it?
you do hard work,
No,
or
I
they?
let them do the hard work and I do the easy work.
Oh, okay. That sounds dangerous. This is exactly what trusted guy wouldn't do. He would do hard work himself, then he would train people to do hard work also. He will try to empower them, to train them. Okay, let's hear from them. What would you do if you would be a carpenter to become a trusted guide?
I think it's about like mastering the craft.
Mastering the craft, okay, what else?
Educating yourself.
Okay. What else? So that's the skill part of it. What else?
Show them how it's enjoyable, how it's an enjoyable activity.
Okay.
Because that's our real nature, isn't it? We're naturally, God created us to be blissful. And that is our genuine nature, and therefore to sort of bring out that nature in activities. So show them how carpentry is an enjoyable.
Have you tried it?
Carpentry.
Have you tried it yourself?
Carpentry, I've tried other things with people, try to show them how things can be fun, enjoyable, make it interesting. If you're making something, I think it's important that it's functional, but it's also beautiful as well. Somehow that's something people look for, beauty. And I see many times people buy things, furniture, and they already have chairs and tables, but what they bought is actually extremely beautiful, and they thought it was because of the beauty aspect of it. So you're creating something beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, so that really gives a lot of pleasure to me. That would be my approach.
Yeah, okay. So we have, when we look into becoming a trusted guide, we have two sides. One is the competence side, and one is the character side. So how would you develop this side of character in the carpentry, for example?
Character would be
To follow the method.
follow the method.
What?
Follow a method,
Follow what?
a standard method,
Aha.
not to speculate.
This is also in the skill. This is in the
The skill,
competence
yes.
side.
Character.
How would you deal with people, for example, or Whether you're training someone or customers, how would you do that?
Oh, of course, yeah. Obviously, discuss with customers what they want. Act as a servant of the customer.
That's very nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure they get what they want, what they need, and don't just sell and run, but have a long-term relationship, build trust, show them that you have their best interest at heart.
I think I'd want to show them how to they get pride in their work.
Okay.
Sort of shapes your character, isn't it? That you're not just to take pride. Where pride and satisfaction lies in doing the work. Whether it's just maybe it's meeting two things and two pieces of wood at a very nice angle. Just find ways for that person to get satisfaction and pride in what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else?
Inspire, motivate.
Whom and for what?
So in that situation, being a trusted guide, inspire them, or feel them. Customers or whom you're mentoring in that case.
If you're mentoring someone. Okay. Mm-hmm. How would you do that?
Inspire them.
Yeah.
Inspire them by being enthusiastic, and they feel the enthusiasm and they want to. Or even whatever little they do, you just say, wow, that's excellent, you're doing a great thing, you want to try the next level, and then bring them to the next level.
Okay. So it has to do also a lot with customer service. If you're, having a product, then you want to make sure that customers are satisfied with it. And also people need to be educated about certain things. So that they sometimes don't know the value of what they are getting if they get your product. Yes?
Do you need a skill to become a trustee?
Yes, you need skills, character and competence. Competence means skills. But in the character area, you need communication skills also. We spoke here about 4 skills, 4 mindsets, and 4 roles. They all require skill. Anyone else from the conversation to share something?
From their conversation or from our own?
Huh?
From their conversation or from our own?
From the conversation, from the exercise. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So, Prabhu, you were saying something really nice that, you've been working on these content for so many years, 20 years or something, and you had one particular breakthrough moment when you had gone somewhere and you were applying your standard routine to that situation, so that you were going to a place and you wanted to be fully engaged and you were really making sure that was going to happen, but the schedule got changed up, and instead you ended up on a completely different schedule, but in that there was so much wonder and beauty because you were suddenly able to do something totally different.
Yeah.
And it was very inspiring.
Yeah.
So it's nice to sometimes remember that we're not the controller.
Yes.
To manage our own expectations, and if we can do that and let go, then wonderful, miraculous things can happen.
Yes, exactly. This is a very important point. In our presentation of success, Krishna consciousness or Vedic approach, we understand that we are not the supreme controller, we are not the only doer, and that we get help from God, from Krishna. Then sometimes He has a plan. We are planning, that's responsible to plan, but sometimes He has a plan. In that case, He had a plan that I don't give many courses, many classes in Belgium, but then I had time to study and to discover things that will help me in my further service. So thank you. Now we have our final and last part called Make a Wonderful Contribution. And for this, I have some practical tools to offer to you. I don't know if you have heard of the weekly planner. I I have here a sample. It's a simple table, but it's a very, very profound way to organize your life in time. And it says, on the left side here you have a weekly compass. You don't have to write anything. All this you can get. The weekly compass, it's better that you look. And this compass consists of your personal mission statement. How many of you have a personal mission statement? Okay. The personal mission statement is like your compass for life, your statement which describes what you want to do, what you want to be, and what you want to have. Being actually refers to the qualities you want to have. Doing refers to the activities that you want to be engaged in, and having refers to results. What kind of results you want to achieve. So this statement, for example, I will give you a couple of examples. I have actually a file which has sample mission statements from some devotees, from some swamis, and I had for years my own mission statement, which is helping devotees succeed. Helping devotees succeed. I have a longer version also that I changed over the years. Another version of my mission statement is nurturing devotee success with the holy name and Gita. Nurturing devotee success with the holy name and Gita. So when I get lost, when I get frustrated, I go back to my mission statement and I get back on track, and I understand that I have neglected my mission, that's why I'm frustrated. And your mission statement can be longer, can be a picture, can be a poem, you can choose the form, but it's something like your constitution, like your creed, something that is always guiding you and inspiring you and giving you direction and clarity. And every week, if you have a mission statement, actually I can help you develop your mission statement. You first review your mission statement, then you review your key roles in life, and your first role is self-renewal. First role, duty is to take care of yourself, then you can take care of others and other roles. Here you have up to 7 roles. More than that is maybe not so easy to manage. So different roles, you can be a parent, you can be an employee, you can be a boss, you can be a devotee, you can be a disciple, you can be a friend. So what is a role? Roles are main responsibilities and main relationships. So now I'm giving, and you will set goals in different roles. So everything becomes personalized. Therefore, your schedule is not boring, because it has to do with people and relationships. So this little tool also has 6 steps of weekly planning. Connect with your mission, review your roles, identify your main weekly goals and key roles, organize your week, and number 5, show integrity in the moment of choice, and number 6, evaluate. It's a very systematic approach to life. It's not like we live spontaneously, but this is very focused and systematic. And number 5 is the most important, that you are true to your principles and your values. Exercise sincerity or integrity in the moment of choice. If you promise yourself, I am not going to eat the cheesecake for 1 week, to start with. When you see a cheesecake, you say to cheesecake, Haribol cheesecake. Goodbye. And you take a mint lemonade and preach to someone. Preach to them about how prasadam is great and they should take a cheesecake. So this is where rubber meets the road. Exercising sincerity is the mode of choice. I always say, you're not what you post on Facebook, you are what you do when no one is looking. So if you can swallow this, you're ready to become a spiritual warrior. So when you are somewhere and you know only God is looking, but you forget also that God is looking. So, but you remember and say, okay, my dear Lord, now I'm alone, I can do anything I want, I can watch anything I want, but you please now, I'm doing this for you, I'm going to say no to Maya, I'm going to say yes to you and to your service, and please empower me to do that. So making a wonderful contribution, this is a practical tool, but let me ask you, what is your dream? What would you do and if you would have unlimited time and money? No problem money, no problem time, what would you do? No struggle for money anymore, no struggle for survival, just what would you do when you have unlimited time and money?
I'll get bored.
Huh?
I'll get bored.
Boat.
Bored.
Okay?
Bored, you get bored.
No,
Bored.
Bored.
Bored. B-O-R-E-D.
Better buy a boat than be bored. And chant Hare Krishna on the boat. So you prefer to struggle? That's interesting. I have never got such an answer. That everybody says, if I would have unlimited time and money, I would do this and that. This is interesting. So think about this. What would you do?
Travel.
Travel?
Explore.
What would you do in your travels?
Meet people. Curious. Be open. Every experience has so much to learn.
Okay.
Monotony, getting up every day, go to work, same thing, same 5 o'clock in the office, same 5 o'clock, everything is, you know what your tomorrow is going to be, you know what your day after is going to be. It's all the same monotonous, robotic life.
If you become a preacher, you will travel a lot. It's called the bait. You know,
You
bait.
don't know what your next moment is, and that's nice to be
Yes,
not knowing what your
exactly.
next moment. You don't know where your next food is coming. You don't know where you're going to go. There is some curiosity there. There's some risk there. But if you're in a routine job, routine life, routine everything, like tomorrow, you pretty much know exactly next week from now I'll be doing the same thing.
So you want some adventure? Okay. Anything else? Yes.
With unlimited time and money, I would distribute prashadam to everywhere.
Okay.
Everywhere. Free prashadam.
Wonderful.
Free, everywhere, around the world.
Oh, amazing. May your dream come true.
Thank you.
Yes.
Travel and do yoga.
Teach.
Yeah.
Have you seen these photos from New York? Like 500 people having the straw mats.
Yeah,
Amazing.
great.
So, where would you teach this?
Everywhere.
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 Like a massive yoga
yeah,
class?
My dream career would be to go to different yoga studios around the world and teach yoga students the philosophy of yoga. And
You
teach
have
the
your own
asanas
style,
as well.
your own brand. What do you have?
I teach Ashtanga yoga, Ashtanga Vinyasa yoga. I would go with LCVS brand.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I would do that.
Oh,
That's like
that would be a great bridge for people. I
Yeah,
like that.
I agree.
I give you free coaching to achieve this.
I'll take you up on that.
Okay.
I would like. That's how I want to live my life.
Only once a month cheesecake.
Yeah, that's fine.
No,
Once a month is
no,
fine.
sorry, spinach roll.
Actually, in my room I have I made a poster. It's a tracker, so it's every month of the year and every day, and I highlight what days I didn't take sweets, so I can see it.
You're a yoga teacher.
So
You're a yogi. Every yoga teacher should become a yogi. You know that?
It's true. It's true.
I posted my last Facebook post is coach. Every coach needs coaching, every yoga teacher needs yoga, and every healer needs healing.
It's true.
So that's great. You're already doing some discipline. Actually, to every success principle that we have, if we add self-discipline, it becomes very powerful. Without self-discipline, success principles don't work very well. So therefore, we have to practice. Okay, so any other dreams?
Oh yeah, I mean, my dream for myself, but what I do with money are two sort of different things for some reason. But if I had unlimited money, that's fantastic. I'd like to buy, say, a huge building in the city and establish it as a community with its, people living, those that are homeless. I'd like to have all my friends there, of course, and just establish a community in a building in town. I'd love that if I had unlimited funds. That's the first thing I'd do. But it's not a career really. That's not like I have my own. It's separate. But that's what I do if I had unlimited money, like that.
You are a leader. You are a trusted guide. You're already probably, but if you have such a dream, that means you want to facilitate people's lives and growth.
Yeah, definitely.
It's great. It's wonderful. Thank you so much. Fantastic. Okay, we need to finish. Yes. I have a quiz which is called Personal Mission Statement Quiz, and this you can get. We cannot do this now. I would like to ask you for homework, and you can report to her or to me if you have done it. But if you can do, I have a mini quiz and a little more comprehensive and larger quiz. You can do the mini quiz at least. This is a questionnaire that helps you to develop your personal mission statement. So personal mission statement can help you to achieve your dream and to make a wonderful contribution. So it's based on 3 questions. What do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? So B has to do with your qualities, do has to do with your chosen service, and have has to do with what kind of results would you like to achieve.
Sorry, what was the second one?
Do.
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 And that do is to do with your skills.
Service.
A service?
Yeah, skills also. Yeah, you're right.
Service.
You need skills to do some service. You need to know how to do it. Yeah.
And what do you have is to do with
Results.
results.
Yes. What kind of results, ideally, would you like to see? And you can send to Brian. Yeah, Brian. You can send. She can forward it to me, or you can send it to me. It was here. Gita Seva is my Facebook, and some of you already have my email, or we are friends already on Facebook. And then, if you would like to develop your personal mission statement, I can help you individually, and we can meet.
Okay.
We can have online session. I mean, I am leaving on the 2nd. Online session, or if I can't here, we can meet face to face. But believe me, I was using a personal mission statement, and all the people that I have coached and helped them with mission statements, they have seen the benefit, and they have reported the benefits of having a mission statement in achieving their goals, achieving their dreams, and making a wonderful contribution. So most of us want to, leave a legacy and make a contribution. And we have here actually a couple of things. Discover and pursue your mission, create a personal mission statement, define your key roles and goals, take daily action, seek inspiration, and all 5 principles lead to the point of leaving something valuable behind you, or even during this lifetime doing something valuable, making a wonderful contribution to the world and to people, and to your community or your family, or all of this. And you may say, that's all wonderful, but I'm lazy. So what is the key to laziness or to overcoming laziness? What do you think?
Doing it actually.
Yes, but even starting doing something.
Small
What?
steps.
Huh?
Small steps.
Small steps. Okay. Let's please everybody give your input in how can we overcome. How can we? You know, a rocket. It needs a lot of energy just to start, to launch, and after this, not too much fuel is needed to keep it going. So, if you want to start working on making a wonderful contribution or accomplishing your mission, you need to start. You need to start.
Be around people who are not lazy.
Yes, association is amazing. So it has to do with what? Association brings what?
Inspiration.
Yes, exactly. So it's here actually. Inspiration is a key to laziness. Inspiration is key to self-discipline. Think about what will inspire you to create your mission statement, to work on your goals, to define your roles, and try to do this. And also you can find someone who will help you with this. It can be your friend, it can be a coach. I can also help you with that. I work with people all the time, and they find it helpful if they regularly report about their progress.
So can we regularly? Can I email you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The benefit of regularly reporting your progress is that you are more focused, maybe you are more inspired, or you feel a little push because you say, "Oh, I have to send a report, so I have to do something," like this. So there will be obstacles to achieving what we want to achieve or making contribution, but we can overcome it, and all these tools help. And my final question is, do you have any questions? Final questions?
How do you stay inspired?
I don't wait for inspiration, I seek inspiration.
How do you seek inspiration?
I seek inspiration by reading, listening, by getting in touch with inspired people. Like Srila Prabhupada is very inspired, always and inspiring. So being around inspiring people.
That website.
So is that opposite of inspired people? Someone that's
Oh, that's VASA.
SH.
What do you say?
opposite of inspired people? Is that someone that's like
Oh, so they might be
concerned about?
Uninspired? Or anxiety, or negative. So positive people, spiritual people, inspired people. You see, devotees are very inspired. We have Wednesday wisdom.
Actually, I have a question.
Yes.
Sorry. How do you stay? Like I notice with myself, because I am sort of working not working, but I do this thing where I'm a guide actually on a daily basis, and I notice the best guidance I give is when I'm in my heart, speaking from my heart. But there are times where I go into my head. How do I stop going into my head and keep in touch with my heart? Is my question.
Mm-hmm. This is a very important question about how to keep that higher connection. Yeah. Well, this is why we have spiritual sound vibration, mantras, and scriptures. They always help us to keep that higher connection.
So, if I don't notice I'm in my head, there's not much I can do, I think, unless you've got advice about that. But once I do notice I'm in my head, do you suggest I say I do a mantra to bring myself back?
Yes.
Of course, and if I don't know I'm in my head, there's nothing I can do about that.
If you don't know what?
If I'm in my head and I'm not aware of it.
Oh, this you can practice to come back on track.
Really?
Yes. Okay,
Oh,
okay.
okay,
So we have to stop. We have another
Oh,
seminar.
thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay.
Thank you very much, people.
You're welcome. I want to give everyone a little
Can I just
sticker.
take a picture of
Oh, stickers.
yes, is that around?
Goranga stickers.
Oh, thank you.
Be happy.
If I could just take it.
So, thank you so much, everyone, for coming. It's really wonderful that you've all been here, and some of you have obviously been here for both seminars, which is great as well. Thank you. For those of you that would like source material sent to you, you can maybe just give me your emails. You can just type it directly into my computer rather than, because some